On the broadcast tonight, the government moves to govern a newly liberalized telecommunications sector.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the Attorney General applauds the work of those in the courts on the recent conviction in the human trafficking case.
Coming up tonight, the region unites to talk about the financial services sector, the Bahamas playing a key role. The story's ahead.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Everyday.
The government preparing for an historic move in the telecommunications sector. Good evening, I'm Andrew Knowles.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley. Well, the time has come for the monopoly on cellular phone services enjoyed by the Bahamas Telecommunications Company to come to an end. This morning, while addressing a room filled with regional and international financial services experts, Prime Minister Perry Christie hinted that the government is ready for the full liberalization of the mobile phone sector.
Tomorrow, or at midnight tonight, the government of the Bahamas is free and at liberty to proceed with liberalization of the communications sector, so that those of you who are stuck with one provider could anticipate having the options very shortly.
Now, as for details on selecting other competitors, the Prime Minister remained tight-lipped, only telling reporters that the process will begin later today.
I just have a meeting now, right now, with the liberalization group I'm putting together.
So what can we talk to you regarding that?
Anytime after the day. I'm just assembling it now because April 1st is tomorrow.
The human remains of 4 persons were found on a quay in the western waters of the Bahamas. Defense Force Commodore Roderick Bowe confirmed the discovery this morning while speaking to the media at an event at Yellow Elder Primary School.
There were 4 bodies that were found on Anguilla Key, which is a key on the southwestern shore of Keysal Banks. The bodies have been badly, beyond decomposition because it's just now bones. I don't want to speculate, but from the pictures that we got, they would have been there for a while.
Now, Commodore Bowe says he received reports of the find about a week ago and the matter has been handed over to the police for investigation.
The Bahamas held its first trial and secured its first conviction for human trafficking last week. It's a landmark event for the country, which is hoped will bring the Bahamas to Tier 1 status. That according to Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson. We get the details in this report from Janaea Noel Ferguson.
Last week's conviction of Chavannes Gay Hall for human trafficking had greater implications for the country than one would think.
In May 2002, we had already been downgraded twice for failure to honor the UN conventions and our law. Our Prime Minister spoke with the relevant ministers who were directly connected that this matter had to be addressed. We could not be downgraded a third time, which would have, as well as social consequences affecting our society, it would also have economic consequences. And we went to work with the TIP task force.
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Senator Alison Maynard Gibson revealed that technical assistance was offered by the United States along with support from various government agencies. She applauded their work and maintained that modern-day slavery, where persons are brought into a country under false pretenses, will not be tolerated. Here's an example.
Come to the UK and we'll get you a good job in the UK. And typically what happens is that when they get to the UK, they now find that that job that they thought they were coming to is not there. And they're forced into doing something they don't want to do, like prostitution or some other occupation, typically in the sex trade.
While the recent conviction for trafficking in persons was an historic one for the Bahamas, Senator Alison Maynard Gibson, who's also the Attorney General, says she hopes that this will increase the country's ranking and also send a strong message for others who might be involved.
We're not the only country that is struggling with this particular vile action that so degrades human beings. And so, relatively speaking, it's small in the Bahamas, but one is one too many.
The AG noted that the recent conviction also bodes well for investor confidence.
Human capital is the most important aspect of any business. And in a country where there's so little regard for the value of human life, I don't think that's the kind of a place where people really want to invest their money or to put roots down and make a living and be there in the long term.
Jamaican native Gay Hall was found guilty on 6 counts, 4 for trafficking persons and 2 counts of withholding documents. She returns to court on May 7th for sentencing. Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
The Bahamas leading the way among regional counterparts in moving the financial services sector forward. A 3-day conference on international financial services is underway at the British Colonial Hilton, bringing together some of the region's leading figures in the industry, all focused on uniting the Caribbean and, in some cases, repositioning the territory to play a greater role in the global sector. The conference was officially opened by the Prime Minister, who outlined a number of initiatives the Bahamas will implement to shore up the sector. We get the story tonight from Clint Watson.
Regional experts receiving a comprehensive outline of the components needed to design a robust financial services sector. Minister of Finance, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie, told delegates that investment in human resources is critical if the Caribbean guarantees that financial services centers emerge as a dominant world leader.
The future of our centers relies on having a sufficient number of high-quality financial services professionals with the depth and breadth of skills needed for modern, innovative financial services industry.
Policy factors are also key, that is, how easy it is to do business in a jurisdiction. Mr. Christie reasoned the need to establish a strategic regional human development policy.
The government of the Bahamas is not prepared to sit idly by with respect to addressing any real or perceived skills gap in the Bahamas. Therefore, I have directed the Minister of Financial Services to work with all relevant institutions within the Bahamian government and outside of the government to ensure that Bahamians are ready for the changing realities in the financial services sector.
Additionally, the government hopes to create the Center for Excellence of Financial Services Training and Research, which he hopes will be a distinct achievement and priority of the Ministry of Financial Services. Coupled with these government policies, the nation's leader believes the sector must become more innovative and creative by designing new products and services. International exposure is also vital, and so the local financial services industry has adopted an internship plan to provide Bahamians the kind of experience required to advance the sector. Incentives are also being developed to reward those local companies that offer these opportunities to Bahamians. And with this move comes the need for a refined immigration policy.
The ability of a country to attract talented persons who wish to invest in innovative industries in our economies will be an important driver in the future of IFCs in the region. The transfer of knowledge to domestic professionals can result from a dynamic immigration policy.
Once again, we're seeing a common thread with these regional meetings, and that is the need to unite and to come together, particularly with policies that govern the financial services sector. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
Well, still ahead tonight, how one group is marking Child Abuse Prevention Month.
And Southern Shores takes on unemployment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Lux Men's Warehouse.